Hey, it's Random Code here, and today we can continue working on our full stack CRUD application. We are now at a point where we have the basic functionality working for our backend and our database, where our database is MySQL running in a Docker container, and our backend is a Spring Boot application running in a Docker container. I therefore thought it would now be interesting to actually start working on some front-end setup. So previously I had a backend folder, a database, and front-end folder. Just deleted the front-end folder because we can actually create a new one using a package builder. Because we're going to be using React, I'll then be using npx, which is like a built-in package management system. In React, that will allow us to build a new folder and a new entire project with all the basic functionality, which should make this, at least the basic setup, very, very easy. So we will start by doing a command called npx. As mentioned, that's the package manager, which is going to be building our basic React project, which is going to build a basic React, JavaScript, HTML, CSS project. So npx, create, React, app, and we're then going to call this frontend. And it's going to be built from our current position. So I'm just going to be talking a bit while it builds. It should take a few seconds. So we can see now we have a frontend folder back once again. And we're then primarily going to be using this frontend just to interact with our APIs from our backend, just to showcase the basic flow of things. And it's worth mentioning that I am very much not a front-end developer. So I can't guarantee it's going to be pretty, but I think it's going to be interesting, and it's definitely part of the experience. I think it's actually very important for not every developer, but for most developers who have a basic understanding of this flow from backend, then extracting or saving data in a database, and then again, the backend contacting the front end, and then understanding this basic flow of how things actually move back and forward. So I'm just going to give it a few seconds to load, and we're then going to check back in and have a basic look at the front-end application created by React. And there we go. And it's actually already telling us how we can get this basic application up and running. But first, let's actually have a quick look. So we have a front-end now, which contains a lot of stuff. And if you haven't worked with React before, or any actually front-end frameworks like this, it might be confusing, but it's actually not too complicated. And inside source, we're then going to be working with most of our basic setups, and mainly if we're just going to be creating a single page application, which I think we more or less are, we then have our app.js, which then have our basic screen setup, which for now is just like a placeholder, React placeholder, but let's actually just showcase. So let's just follow what we're being told to do. So as you can see, we are now inside this our root folder. We now have this new frontend, so we're just going to go into our frontend folder, that, and we can then call npm start, which is then gonna host it locally, like that. And we can see it's hosted locally on HTTP, localhost 3000, which definitely is also very good because we know our backend is going to be running on port 8080. So that's actually quite fine. We don't need to interact or change anything here, at least not for now. And we then have a spinning picture, and we have some basic text. And Rect is then very nice in a way that is kind of like a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one. And for example, here we can see we have our edit, and then some text with some code styling, save to reload, which is just the text here. And if we note it's saved to reload, which is actually very, very nice when working with front-end frameworks like this, is that we can simply change this to do user dashboard, for example. And when I then save, we can see here it's then compiled successfully. And we can then already see here that it is actually already updated. And I would start by, for example, removing the image. We get a warning, yeah, which makes sense because we're importing a logo which never used. So let's actually also remove this import. Everything should now be fine once again. And we now simply have a user dashboard. We're gonna learn React, which is gonna be a tag, so it's gonna be a link. Let's also just remove that one. So now we have a div with some class names, and because it's React and not plain HTML, we need class name instead of just class. But class names then referring to inside our CSS. So for example, our div class name app is going to have the apps, which is going to have the styling of center align. So it's aligned. It's pretty simple. a bit different than working in like backend languages and backend applications when we're like building our Spring Boot, but it's nice because we get actually very, very clear showcase of what you actually do. But I think that's going to be it for now. I just want to showcase the creation and the basic setup. And then in the next videos, we're going to start creating like a basic structure of a front-end page where we can first probably load our elements from our backend. So we're going to start our entire Docker Compose project. We're then going to simply connect from our app.js, then have some kind of hook, which then connects to our backend and says, extract all information and showcase it on screen. So if you enjoyed this very short and quick showcase of the setup of our front-end React project, please leave a like and subscribe, and I wish you all a wonderful day.